In this part, we will analyze the case study, and it's necessary to underline two preliminary notions. First of all, we need to explain that some multinational, in order to prevent future transfer pricing disputes on transfer pricing issues, will arrange an advanced pricing agreement called APA with the tax authorities. And this agreement is about the application of an appropriate transfer pricing method and the determination of the prices of controlled transactions in order to be consistent with the arm's length principle. The second notion is that some tax authorities and some countries, in order to attract multinational groups, tend to approve some APAs that are not actually consistent with the arm's length principle, and that allow the multinational group to shift profit in low tax countries. In these cases, the APA could be disregarded by the European Commission, and if they provide a selective advantage to the companies that have set the agreement, they should be considered as state aid, and the Commission could order the recovery of the aid itself. So the specific case is about a judgment of the General Court of the European Union, the judgment of 24th of September 2019, and is this controversy between Starbucks and the European Commission on a specific decision of the European Commission to recover as state aid the tax that Starbucks actually didn't pay in compliance with an APA that Starbucks settled with the Netherlands tax authorities. This APA was concluded on 28 April 2008, and was concluded between the Netherlands tax authorities, as we said, and SMBV, Starbucks Manufacturing BV, that is a group, a company of the Starbucks group. The goal of this APA was to determine the remuneration for the activity of SMBV, and specifically the activity of production and distribution of roasted coffee beans and some other products. And this because SMBV is the main responsible for the production of roasted coffee and the resale of that to the Starbucks shops all over Europe and Asia, and Europe, Africa, and Middle East. This is the structure of the group, the part of the group that is relevant for the controversy purposes. We have SMBV, the company that is resident in the Netherlands. They carries out activities such as roasting of coffee beans. It purchases the green coffee beans from SCTC, another company of the Starbucks group resident in Switzerland. And SMBV sells the roasted coffee beans such as and other products to the Starbucks coffee shops that are resident in Europe, EMEA, that is Europe, Middle East, and Africa. And SMBV pays some royalties to Alki, that is another Starbucks company, and the royalties are paid because SMBV is supposed to exploit the know-how and technology of Alki that are about the roasting activities, actually the know-how of roasting the coffee beans. The APA is quite structured, and the goal of the APA was, first of all, to determine the remuneration of the production and distribution activities. First of all, the roasting of the coffee beans, and secondly, the amount of the royalties that SMBV paid to Alki. The first point was that in order to determine the remuneration of the main activity that Starbucks indicated as the roasting activity, was used a cost plus method. By the way, actually, they use a transactional net margin method based on the cost plus. And once they determined the arm's length markup on the cost, they determine the profit deriving from the roasting activities, applying a markup on the cost, and only the operative cost, because they excluded some relevant actually costs, such as the royalties and the cost of green coffee beans. Once they determine the remuneration for the roasting activities, they determined the royalties using the difference between the actual operational profit of the company minus the remuneration that they determined using the transaction net margin method. And this means that all the profits that exceed the remuneration that are set using the transaction net margin method were considered as royalties for Alki, the company resident in UK. And they weren't subject to a withholding tax in the Netherlands, and they were deductible from the tax base. So the Commission stated that this APA was not consistent with the arm's length principle, and it was a state aid incompatible with the internal market, and for this reason they ordered to recover the state aid. First of all, because they said that the royalties should have been zero, because the activity, the intellectual properties deriving for the intellectual properties that was the technology about roasting activities didn't have any value for SMBV, and we will see why soon. And the second reason that the Commission applied a control cap method, and identifying a number of comparable agreements, they see that these comparable agreements didn't provide any royalties payments. And but the Commission said that even the price that SMBV paid for the green coffee bean was not consistent with the arm's length principle, and it was actually higher than the market price, and this was not consistent with the arm's length principle, and was actually a method to shift profit between to the company resident in Switzerland. And lastly, they said that the application of the transactional net margin method was incorrect for a bunch of reasons. For example, first one was that SMBV was a complex entity. They did a lot of function, not only the roasting function. And this led the Commission to say that the profit indicator was wrong. The APA used a profit indicator based on cost, operative cost, because they said that the principal activity of the company was the roasting activities. But the Commission said that the principal activity was the resale of the coffee beans, the distribution. And for this reason, the inappropriate and consistent with the arm's length principle indicator would have been the return on sales, the sales that the company made. And in using this profit indicator based on sales, the Commission concluded that the profits should have been really higher than the ones calculated on the basis of the cost. And lastly, they said that the adjustments, such as deleting the cost of green coffee beans, weren't consistent with the arm's length and weren't unjustified, actually. So, as we said, no, we didn't say actually. By the way, the General Court said that the Commission weren't right, or at least they didn't prove a selective advantage. And for this reason, the Commission, the General Court actually annuls the decision of the European Commission. And this because for a bunch of reasons too, as well. But the first one and the most important ones that we will see all the allegations and that it repeat in the judgment is that there is a difference between tax authorities and the European Commission. This is because the European Commission cannot just adjust the prices of the related transaction because they are not consistent with the arm's length, but they only they can only recover a state aid if they prove that an APA that is not consistent with the arm's length principle has delivered a selective advantage for the companies involved. If the Commission cannot prove that the APA, even if it is not consistent with the arm's length principle, has delivered this advantage, the Commission cannot order the recovery of the state aid because the APA could not be considered as a state aid. And this is actually what the General Court said. Especially, they said that it's not sufficient to hold that that mere non-compliance with methodological requirements does not necessarily lead to a reduction of tax burden. This is because even if the APA is not consistent with the arm's length principle, it's not proof that this non-compliance had lead to a lower tax burden for the company involved. This was the first reason, the main one in the General Court reasons actually. Yeah. By the way, the first allegation of the Commission, as we said, is that the royalties should have been zero, and for this reason, all the royalties that SMBV paid to Alki weren't justified. The first reason why the royalty should have been zero is that if actually the royalty were a value for the Dutch company, the Commission said that it wasn't. This because the royalties would have been a value only if SMBV could have exploit the technology and the intellectual property on the free market. Because the royalties, the know-how that Starbucks provide would have been useful only if the company, the producer, the Dutch company, could have sold the goods to the final customers, and not if they, as in this case, sold to the to the other Starbucks shops. By the way, the General Court was not didn't agree with the Commission, said that actually the royalty were had some value, and the IPE was to remunerate also if the goods were sold to a wholesale market, as in this case. The only case where the royalties should have been zero, it would have been if SNBV company would have operated only as a contractor, and the intellectual properties should have been considered as only technical specification of the manufacturing actually activity. The second allegation was that the royalties were loss generating, because the Commission said that the royalties didn't provide any profits to SNBV, and the only purpose was to shift profits from the Netherlands to UK and to UK. By the way, the Commission didn't prove this allegation, and the General Court just said that the activity, the roasting activity, had always been profitable, and as we said, the Commission hadn't demonstrated that the royalties was loss generating, so they disregarded this allegation quite simply. The comparison and analysis of the comparability analysis that the Commission said, we will do that later and in the next part, and so it's all for this one. See you soon.